We get ready to go? All right, I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 6:02. 6:01. 6:01. Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And can I get a roll call by the secretary?
President Chase Downey,
Here.
Vice President Marcel,
Here.
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Here.
Director Roger Pruitt,
Here.
and Director Diane Foster. Here.
Perfect. All right. Should have done that. All right, and then moving on to adjustments to the agendas category. I don't have any adjustments to move from one topic to the other. So we'll move right on to public comment. Any public comment? Members of the public may provide comments to the board on items that are not on the agenda. We welcome and encourage your comment as the board takes them into consideration in our deliberations. Speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. The board may not respond to, discuss, or engage in any type of dialogue regarding any public comment. However, the president may direct questions to staff for later response of future consideration by the board. Appropriate and respectful language and behavior is vital to the functioning of a public meeting. We ask the board, staff, and members of the public to speak courteously and respectfully. Therefore, the board prohibits disruptive behavior. Patty, got anything to say? Anything on the owl?
No.
Are we sure? Double check.
Nothing.
All right. Moving right along, consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are routine in nature and may be approved by one motion. We have the approval of the April 8th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes and receive and file combination or combined financial report for March 2026. I'm gonna pull out the approval of tonight's board meeting minutes and we'll just approve the or make a motion to approve or receive and file combined financial reports for March 2026.
I'm sorry, did you actually make that motion? Is that what you're going to do? You said?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're pulling out the minutes.
Yes.
I second that.
Okay. Any public comment? No? All in favor? Aye. No opposed? All right, and then I'm going to make a motion that approval of the April 8th, 2026 minutes be continued to the next regular meeting to allow the board secretary additional time to incorporate corrections and revisions identified by the directors.
Okay, you're reading our mind. You're reading my mind.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Public comment? Coming back to the board, all.
Aye.
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 No opposed? Okay, moving right along. All right, push right into our operation action items.
Wait a minute, wait. I thought we pulled the minutes out, so, I thought
Oh, so that, okay, so,
there's some corrections that have.
well, no, that's what I was saying. I made a motion to have the directors, basically, send their corrections to Sally before the next meeting.
Well, don't you want to make them public?
There's a lot of corrections, and if we had to go through every single one of them, so
Well,
I figured.
mine aren't long, and I would also like to compliment Sally.
Yeah, no, I think Sally did a really good job.
Fantastic job.
That's why I think we, it's just a learning process. And, I think, we'll have it corrected. We'll get it
But I
corrected by
do
the-
think though that I'd like to make it public, the corrections, and these aren't
So Diane,
Sally's.
if you do that, I have 3 pages and I'm gonna want to do the same thing. So I've already passed mine in writing on to her.
Wait, you have 3 pages of corrections?
Yes.
There's so,
I thought, well, my understanding was that according to Sally, that her email that you, Hank, and you were going to look over the minutes. So did you do that?
And so I did look over the minutes, but I didn't make the corrections before the agenda came out, and so that was I'm still learning this process. So that was my bad. So I would we're gonna make the corrections, we're gonna get Sally the corrections, and then by next meeting, that way we can approve it and it'll just be minimal.
Well, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with.
Well, that's what we just.
Mine aren't big at all, but.
Yeah.
But I would like to know though, if he's got all these corrections, that means he's revising all the minutes. Are we going to be, note about what he's changing before the board meeting?
So,
I guess we are.
yeah, we will, it'll be in the agenda, and we will get those minutes, we'll try to get those minutes out with our next minutes, so that way we have time to look them over. So this is Diane, the last meeting,
Yeah,
Sally sent us the minutes, and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
forward the minutes on to the rest of the board, which that was kind of just this new thing we hadn't,
yeah.
so that was my fault.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm not, I'm a little bit concerned that somebody on this board has 3 pages of changes. That's like rewriting all the minutes.
Is it okay if I, like, they're not rewritten, he just put some like edits on here for me.
Okay.
Nothing's been changed.
Oh, so he's not changing your minutes?
No, nothing was
Okay,
changed, just,
okay.
thank you, Mark, this
Okay.
is really helpful, he just put in, like instead of, I put President Ron Bell on it.
There's like just names and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But I do, just one thing though, that should be brought up though, it should say minutes on here instead of agenda. Okay, yeah, for our April 8th minutes, it says agenda.
Oh,
Yeah, it should be minutes.
I know where you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, all right, okay, then I'm good.
all right, thank you, Sally. So moving on to our operation action items, consideration of resolution authorizing submission of assessment district number 2 charge to Placer County for collection on the 2026-27 property tax rolls. Recommendation action, adopt the attached resolution authorizing the replacement of assessment district number 2 charges on the 2026-27 Placer County property tax roll, and authorize the general manager to submit all required documentation to Placer County for collection. Okay,
So this is the routine placement of assessment district 2 charges on the property tax. This was a voter approved assessment district, 1997. The funds were used to make improvements to the water system, and we are paying back the loan. So county sends us the resolution and all the documentation. We're required to put together a list of parcels that still owe the assessment, and this is, the county requires board action to approve the resolution and to move forward with the paperwork that we need to submit.
okay. Any board member comment, starting with Roger? No. Mark?
Very routine.
So to be clear, the assessment, the tax roll rolls over to, so they keep this to pay off a bond?
No, the funds come to the district. The funds are collected by the county, and then they're transferred to the district, and then the district pays.
You said something about a loan.
It's a refunding bond. It's a loan. Yes.
Are you done?
I'm not,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, now it says here it was established in 1996. Does this mean it didn't take effect until 1997?
It was approved, I believe, in 96, and then the assessment district would have formed, and it probably hit the taxes the first year in 97.
Okay, so it's a 30-year bond. So next year it'll be paid off, correct?
I think the amortization schedule calls for 28, I believe.
30 years, it says you have here in your memo, 30 years that it would be repaid over a 30-year period. So that would be 2027.
Well, if it went on the taxes in 97, the first payment would have been 98, and so the last payment would be 2000.
So it got approved in 96,
Well,
went on the tax in 97, first payment would have been 98, so then the payoff would be in 98.
Yeah, well,
I don't understand, why wouldn't the first payment be in 97 if it was approved in 1996?
because it was formed in 96, went on the tax roll in 97, the first payment made in 98.
Okay, so in 1998, that means the bond will be paid off, is that
In
correct?
2028, is what you meant to say.
Yeah, 2028,
Yeah.
yes, it'll be paid off, correct?
I believe so. I don't have the amortization schedule in front of me, but that sounds right. It's, note 5 in your audit, and then we have an amortization schedule that is the date. I believe 2028.
Yeah, okay, so when that happens, I'm just trying to look ahead of it, does this mean then that, after that, the people that own property will be like $46 richer that year?
Yes.
No, okay, okay,
The charge will be dropped from the taxes when the loan is
okay,
paid off.
okay, okay, that makes sense.
And the district's authorization to place it will expire as well.
Okay, all right,
So
okay, that's all I had to say.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the attached resolution authorizing the placement of the assessments district number 2 charges on the 2026-27 Placer County property tax roll, and authorize the general manager to submit all required documentation to Placer County for collection.
Second.
Segment, public comment. Roger Pruitt, second that sound. I know, I seen you wanting to look around. Which one? Anything on the owl?
No,
Let's give it a second, just to make sure, because I know last time, I guess some people tried to raise their hand and couldn't get their hand raised in time, so
Yes, I got a quote about that.
make sure we get that.
Yeah.
All
nothing
good?
now.
All right, and coming back to the board, any further comment? Nope, all right, roll call vote, please, Sally, take it away.
I didn't understand what Ron just said. You gotta find out, what about?
About the owl, about people raising their hand on the owl and not being able to comment.
Yeah, I heard about it as well.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Well-
about it?
What happened when I got back, Stu called me.
Well, hold on, we'll talk about this in a second.
Oh, and this is for the motion. you
Yes.
just made, correct? Okay. President Chase Dowling,
Yes,
Vice President Mark Bell,
Yes,
Treasurer Ron Thompson,
Ron,
Anyway, I got a phone call.
no, she was asking for your vote.
Oh, my
Director
voice
Roger
is
Pruitt,
louder.
Yes.
and Director Diana Foster.
Yes.
All right, motion approved. Moving along, real quick, Ron, we'll take this.
Anyway, she was there the whole time.
Mhm.
She was hopping mad. And she put her mic on 3 times. And she was censored. She gets the law around that to censor the public. And it could be a misdemeanor or could be a much more serious, because there was intent, because it was done 3 times.
Well, we'll have to look for
Because what
it.
I will do is I will move my chair over there to keep this law from getting broken again. I won't do it this time, but if I hear it again,
All right,
your job, bud.
so, item number on operation action items, 7.2, consideration of resolution authorizing submission of delinquent utility accounts to Placer County for collections on the 2026-27 property tax rolls. Recommended action, adopt the attachment resolution authorizing the placement of delinquent utility account charges on the 2026-27 Placer County property tax rolls, and authorize the general manager to submit all required documentation to Placer County for collection. Hey,
So this is also routine. The district is authorized to place delinquent amounts on the tax rolls to collect those. We send, the board a number of years ago, limited this to 90 days delinquent. And so what that does is it allows people that are just a little bit overdue time to get caught up. Those that are over 90 days due, we send them 12 invoices to inform them. We send them a special letter letting them know there's 2 options: pay the bill or have it go on your property taxes. This year we had 182 delinquent accounts for a total of $172,851. That's up about 8% from last year. On the number of accounts, it's something like 14 kind of new accounts. Most of these are repeat. These are folks that don't pay their water bill. And so we place this on the tax roll, they pay it in 2 payments, and the district is square, and all of the customers of the district are well protected in that we're collecting these funds through this process.
So that's by the fiscal year then. Correct. 25, 26.
It's not really by the fiscal year, because it generally runs May 1st to May 1st, and so that's not our fiscal year. Our fiscal year is,
Yeah, it said delinquent list 24, 26 tax year.
yeah, so it goes on the,
25,
it goes on the 26, 27 tax rolls. So the payments will be made in December and April, and then the money gets forwarded to the district when it's collected.
Roger?
Good.
Mark?
Nope, pretty routine.
Well,
Ron?
oh, I thought we just.
Go ahead, you're next.
Yeah, no, well, you were, okay.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'd like to know, and I'm sure we won't know, but I'm having problem with attaching people, putting a lien because I don't know why they didn't pay. And I will give you an example that's rubbed me wrong for a very long time, is that when the miners' camp issue came about, Lee Lowry's, a lien was put on his property because he refused to pay the, bill that he felt was illegal, and he ended up to be right. But so that lien was put on there, and it was wrong to do that, I think. And so I'm very concerned, who else, and I'm not saying that we would do it deliberately. I'm just saying, are there some legitimate issues here of people that aren't paying? I mean, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable putting liens on people's property if I don't know all the details for every one of them. I know it's impossible to know every one of them, but I don't like the idea. So that's how I feel.
I mean, it's a valid point to bring up, it really is. But, I mean,
I don't know the solution. I don't.
yeah, it's tough, you know, it's maybe something we should work on.
Yeah, I'd like to know, you know. I mean, at least go through, I mean, Hank might know something. I mean, over the period of time, the office staff might have a recording of some sort of, for each 182 of what the reason. Are they just a flake, you know? If they're a flake, yeah, attach it, put a lien, right? But if they have some, I don't know.
A hardship or something to that nature.
Something,
I
yeah,
understand where you're coming from.
We can't cut the water on.
right.
Yeah. So, anybody wanna make a motion on this?
Sure.
I get to the right page there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I make a motion to adopt the attached resolution 2026-04, authorizing the placement of delinquent utility account charges of the 2026-27 Placer County property tax rolls, and authorize the general manager to submit all required documentation to Placer County.
I'll second that.
Any public comment? I'm gonna be looking at you a lot tonight, looking at you a lot. Anything on the owl?
Nothing.
Give it a second. All right, coming back, any further board member comment? No? Roll call vote.
Right. Chase Down,
Yes?
Vice President Ron Farrell.
Yes.
Treasurer Ron Thompson.
Yes,
Director Roger Pruitt.
Yes.
Director Diana Foster.
No,
Motion carries 4-1. All right, moving along. 7.3, adopt CEQA categorical exemption for generator placement project at the water treatment plant and plumbing plant. Recommend action, adopt the categorical exemption. Hey,
So as a public agency, discretionary projects are required to go through California Environmental Quality Act evaluation. This is a pretty simple evaluation. It's a replacement in kind. It's in a already industrial area. And so what's required is to have the board make a determination that the Determination is
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
that there's a categorical exemption. It's a class 1 and class 2. Those are sections of the law that say that this type of project is exempt from CEQA. What this notification does is we file it with the county, and then if the district is subsequently challenged on its CEQA evaluation, this is the document we'll refer back to and say, yes, we did complete a CEQA on this discretionary project.
Roger,
I'm good.
Mark?
No, good.
I'm going to.
I have, but. So what is categorical exemption? What is that?
Well, he just explained
I
it.
don't know.
It's a section of the law that these certain categories are exempt from performing a full CEQA determination or evaluation.
What does CEQA mean?
California Environmental Quality Act.
So what they're doing is making sure that you put that generator down, you have a sump for leaks, that kind of thing, you mean?
No, it's an evaluation of whether or not the placement of the generator will impact the environment.
That's what I'm saying. When you put that generator down, you just can't, if it gets an oil leak or blows a hose or something, it can't just fly into them. It has to be in a sump. It's a big concrete bathtub and you put it in.
Okay.
The way I interpreted it was that it made sense to me that we've already had the environmental for the original, correct?
Mhm.
So therefore, what we were looking for is exemption because it's already been done once, doesn't need to be done again for replacement.
Well, we've
Isn't
had-
that-
yeah.
Isn't that what this is about?
I think basically,
That's how I
right,
thought it
that's how I
was.
kind of look at it, is basically, we're in already
Yeah.
a utility area, it's already been developed.
It's already been done.
Yeah, so we don't
Yes. but-
really need to go through a whole CEQA process again, because CEQA, they'll
Yeah.
look at, what animals are living there and all kinds of other stuff, which, waterways are gonna be affecting, but this is already within a facility, so.
Yeah.
With this is
And
why we
the-
can file the exemption, I do believe. Eric?
That's exactly right. And details like the exact installation approach and all that, to, put the new one in as a replacement. That's a little bit less of a CEQA issue and more of just like, what is the standard approach for installing a replacement generator to replace an old one, right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, all of the sorts of things that you're thinking about are done in the normal course, and there's nothing unusual about installing this that would take it away from that standard installation.
No, I understand that, but construction is my forte. And these are internal in buildings, therefore they're in containment already. I understand that, but if you move a generator out and feed both buildings, that must be possible leak must be contained, must have the building contained. If you have a 500-gallon outside tank, you're supposed to have a concrete thing that will hold 500 gallons without spilling. For that fuel thing.
Or fuel, yeah.
It's an environmental.
Right.
I've dealt with that a lot. It can get really stinky sometimes, but
All right,
no, I get it.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the CEQA categorical exemption for the generator replacement project and direct staff to file the notice of exemption.
I'll second that. Public comment. Are you sure? Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
anything on the owl?
Nothing.
Minute?
In that minute, Sally, the exact words that I read are on page 30 of our packet.
Okay, thank you.
So, and if you were confused on my previous motion too on 7.1, and I'm sure,
It's in that packet.
and 7.2.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, still nothing on the owl?
No.
Okay, all right, moving right along, roll call vote, please.
Would I get to say something?
Oh, we had.
Thought you were good.
We were good. See, I always come back and I say board member comment, and then,
We're on 7.4 now.
no, we're still voting on 7.3.
My fault.
Chase Down,
Yes.
Ron Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
Keep me going. Yes.
Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
and Diane Lester.
Yes.
All right. Motion approved, 5-0. Moving right along, 7.4, adopt plans and specifications for generator placement project and authorize staff to proceed with public bidding. Recommended action item, or action, sorry, adopt plans and specifications and authorize public bidding. Hank?
So, these are the plans and specifications that we'll use to advertise for bids. We'll receive those bids, review the bids and bring them back probably in July to the board for either approval or rejection of the lowest responsive bid.
Roger?
Good.
Mark?
No, I'm good.
Ron?
So is the generator paid for? Roadway?
No. The generator, we've made a partial payment and will, upon delivery, the Cummins will ask for the balance.
So PCWA is gonna assist in that?
Yes, they'll assist with a reimbursement, so we will pay it and then.
Well, you'll have to have complete, yeah.
Yeah.
Complete installation. But adopt plans and specifications. What are the specifications of the generator? Where are mine?
That's in your packet. It's a 275
In this package?
KVA. Yeah, you'll see that listed on.
I think I saw somewhere it was a 330.
No, it's not. That's not in any of the documentation. There were some spec charts that are, they cover multiple units. I can't find
Well,
it.
because this is, if, correct me if
It's
I'm
a
wrong,
275,
this is for the specs for
Placement.
the placement.
the placement, yes.
Right.
This is for the generator's been purchased, so this is how they'll put it in, what kind of conduit they'll use, the location.
So
Quality control, compliance with different NEMA standards, and so on.
this is also to adopt the construction itself. Who's gonna do that?
No,
No.
this is to go for, if we accept the plans and then we're gonna put it out, staff will put it out to bid. To-
What I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is that for the construction companies? We're gonna put an RFP out and they will come back in with bids.
Well, we won't put an RFP out, we're gonna go out to bid as a public works project. So there's
In
no
our policy
RFP.
book, it requires three.
And not in this situation, this is a public works, contract, and so by law, it will go out to bid.
It says in our policy book, there must be three, a minimum of three bids.
Yeah, I think you're referring to a different policy section that has to do with professional services. This is a public works project. The California law says we've got to go out to bid. It's not an RFP, it's an actual bid process.
So Hank, for us real quick, just to clear the air a little bit, is explain the public works bid process compared to an RFP for professional services.
So an RFP for professional services, you circulate a document, request professionals to propose what they're going to do. On a bid process, the board adopts a set of plans and specifications that then gets advertised out to bid. Interested parties bid on that, we review those bids, and then it comes back to the board for approval of the lowest responsive bid.
So how do you contact interested
We
contractors?
generally advertise in the Sacramento Builders Exchange. And then we're required to
Paper note.
put a notification in a paper of circulation.
General circulation.
General
in the area.
circulation. And so that's how we advertise. The Sacramento Builders Exchange, and then we will run an ad in the Auburn Journal.
So the generator itself is run through Peterson or Peters?
No,
Is that where-
Peters is an
where
engineering
we talk?
firm that did the evaluation and sizing of the generator. They prepared the plans and specifications. So the generator, I don't know how to answer that,
The generator was purchased through Cummins,
through
but Peterson is the one that gave the specs,
That's
the
right.
plan and the specs for what generator.
That's right.
Yeah.
But when you call them,
Yeah,
they won't return your call.
the Cummins, it wasn't purchased through Cummins.
Who was it purchased through?
It was purchased,
They purchased through,
Peters Engineering purchased it from
I-
Cummins. I know that because he told me.
No,
think
we
that's how that
did
works.
Through Cummins.
I think,
Peters Engineering was, according to Cummins, I talked to him personally on the phone. He told me, when I asked him about the cost, he said he didn't know because if the purchase, the whole process of purchasing it was by Peters Engineering. That's what Mr. Cummins told me on the phone. But it's not a big deal to me. I don't care how it, I don't care how it got purchased.
that's the common rep. Cabot, Ryan Cabot,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah,
Cummins, no.
that's the common.
Oh, okay, Ryan Cabot is who I talked about. Yes, you're right.
He won't give any information. We have to go through Peters Engineering, because that's where the price went, the purchases and everything,
Yeah, it's true.
and that's what they said.
Yeah,
Now,
no big
I
deal.
brought up a couple of months ago about a phone number that I called. And Diane actually got through and it went to India.
The India, yeah, I talked to.
So my
India.
suspicions were raised that it might be a rebuild.
Mhm.
So I need proof that it's not a rebuild.
oh, no,
It's
the generator itself.
That's what I'm getting at.
It's not a rebuild, it's a new piece of equipment.
Hank, is there any way we could clear up this, this purchasing, of the generator with, so we know it's through Cummins? I mean,
Sure.
I've looked at
I issued a check to Cummins for the generator.
and Cummins
Foresthill
Sacramento.
Public Utility District purchased a new unit from Cummins. I issued a check, it went to Cummins, they cashed the check and sent me a receipt, that's the receipt that I sent to all of you.
When was that done?
December,
Is it in the check register?
yes, December,
And you paid for half of it, right? Or
paid for a little over half of
a
it.
little over half. It was like eight.
So that was in the
No, it was 5,000.
December 25.
Well, it's, either way,
It was 5,000 something.
I think we're getting a little
Yeah,
off topic on that. a
yeah,
little
it
bit.
doesn't
So,
matter, but I need to, I have to say, I want to.
yeah, no, you can.
Yeah, well, I just, first of all, am I understanding that Peters Engineering will perform all the bidding process, correct? Isn't that what their goal
No, the
is?
district bids the project.
Oh, Peters doesn't get involved in that anymore?
Peters will be involved, they'll be part of the engineering review of the submittals.
Okay,
So district staff will review them, Peters will review them. I've got a third party constructability review scheduled, and then we'll bring that back to you, the lowest responsive bid.
So how will Peterson be involved?
well, they were already doing the,
They were the ones that made up the plans to begin with.
yeah.
And then so when after we send it out to bid and it comes back, then they'll help Hank look over to go, yeah, they're following our right spec, or no, they're not, or.
Yeah, no, I took that out about that thick.
But I do wanted to know, I was curious to know how much, that was an extensive project that I went through it, that Peterson Engineering did. How much did that cost? For that, that whole thing?
And when was that actually, just to?
Yeah, and I can go back to,
So Peters Engineering did they provided this feasibility study. This started in March of 2025. They completed this for $3,500. They prepared the plans and specifications for $14,000. So that's the cost so far. That's what we're into them for.
Okay.
okay, thank you, that's all.
All right, and just to clear up, so everybody knows, what was the reasoning we are getting a new generator, just again?
The existing generators are on the edge of about 40 years old. They have low hours, but they've been exhibiting some signs of concern. So oil leaks, failure to start, difficulty in getting parts, and it's our whole lifeblood through the mosquito fire.
Mhm.
That's all we had.
Mhm.
And depending upon 40-year-old equipment for such critical protection of the community. It's time to get a new gen set for the treatment plant and pump station.
Well, maybe then, state of California and Placer County require it to be CARB compliant, they're not.
Well-
That's the main, those generators the last 50 years or more, as long as they got oil.
So, with that said, I'd like to make a motion.
Well, can I say one more thing to Sue? I just did one clarification on the 14,000 for the plans and spec. When was that? Cause I don't remember seeing that on the disbursement thing in 2020.
You'll probably see it
Oh, it hasn't come yet.
on the future one.
Oh, okay, that's all right. As long as I haven't missed it somewhere, okay.
Do you have a receipt with serial numbers and that kind of stuff?
I sent that receipt to you last week.
That was for 5,000,
I
that
was just gonna read that.
just,
That was
yeah,
for $140,000 payment that we made to
Okay.
Cummins.
I don't think we got that.
Yeah,
They sent out the receipt for, yeah, that was in January?
No.
Or- no,
That was
actually,
the purchase agreement, that's what was.
That was-
in
okay.
January-ish, I don't know exactly. But Diane made a request for the receipt, and that's what I sent out, I'm pretty sure it was last week.
Yeah,
Last-
she did.
that was that,
And it was for 5,000 something dollars, correct?
No, the amount paid was 140.
Oh, I'll have to go back and look because the one that I saw was 5,000 and something. Or no, that was what Placer had given you. So I guess I don't have the receipt for that.
I don't have one. either.
No, I don't think so.
I
'Cause,
sent it to you last Thursday.
like, what I,
Did you all got it?
Yeah, let's double check real quick.
Okay.
We got technology.
yeah, could you show me because
Yeah.
I don't
can put it up
remember
right here,
seeing
too.
one for the pay, because my understanding was, no, wait a minute, you're saying that you paid for the whole thing?
I paid 140,000.
My understanding is that the payment doesn't come until it's received.
Receipt for generator.
Yeah,
The
May
balance will
8th,
be.
yeah.
so May 8th.
Oh, I have a date here,
Receipt.
30 December 25.
Uh,
Signed,
That's not a receipt that.
customer advance
Yeah.
payment, 140,000.
It's on top sales,
Subtotal.
sales and service. And
Yeah.
it says coming project name Forest Hill Generator. And it gives a part number. And the ATS anyway, product code. The unit price $132,788. And the amount.
That's all
Just
small.
beside that is $132,788.
Okay.
And then
Two.
the ATS is 4,300.
Oh, so here, that's fine. At the
But
bottom,
this-
it gets a little goofy
This
because
document
it
is
says
not
the total
signed.
amount, but that's for after
not-
sales tax.
it's
So
not
it's like
on-
sales tax, subtotal,
Okay.
sales tax, county sales tax,
There's
all
nothing-
of that comes out.
Because it actually
out of
says
that.
at the top,
But customer.
sold
advance
to
Of 140,000.
NA, not available.
So they didn't, they just
And
added
shipped
those on.
to Fort Hill.
Hey, that's
But
on our
it says
email.
sold to not
Yes.
available.
Or what's on my email, it should
Fort
be on
Hill
yours
address.
as well.
This. is
Monday.
not received.
Okay, thank you. I will check it when I get home.
Yeah, no problem. And it says, yeah, cause you asked for the receipt, and so then, yeah, it says to that, it says to you, Mark, Roger, and everybody, you know, it's all,
Yeah.
so. Okay, I would like to make a motion to adopt the plans and specifications for the generator replacement project and authorize staff to proceed with the public bidding process in accordance with California public contracting requirements.
I second it.
All right, public comment? No. Coming back to the owl.
Let me check.
Well, he's checking where your motion you just made, is that somewhere in his packet as well?
No,
Yeah, page 33.
or is it page,
Thank you.
what'd you say?
Page 33.
Page 33.
Nothing on the alpha?
Okay, nothing on the owl. Moving right along. Roll call vote, please.
Chase Downey,
Yes?
Mark Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
Ron?
Yes.
Roger Crew,
Yes.
Diane.
Yes,
Motion approved, 5-0. And moving right along. 7.5, approval of conflict waiver for potential 2026 Forest Hill Public Utility District water transfer to Westlands Water District. Approve conflict waiver and authorize general manager to sign the waiver. Hank?
So as we've done in the past, Chronic is disclosing that they do serve other districts in other capacities, and they are following Rule 1.7. Eric can speak
Yeah.
much better on this than I do.
Sure, so.
Sure.
Sure,
Thanks.
so, Forest, at the last board meeting, the board, authorized and directed staff to go forth and try to sell up to 2,000 acre feet of stored water in 2026. And so staff has surveyed potential buyers and identified Westlands Water District as an interested buyer. I've had no role in identifying potential buyers. Sometimes for water districts, I'm asked to play that role because I know potential buyers. But in this case, staff didn't need to do that because they're familiar with past buyers from past efforts to transfer water. And so Westlands, I understand Westlands stepped forth. And in order for me to represent Forest Hill in documenting a water purchase and sale agreement with the prospective buyer, Westlands Water District, I'm notifying you, as I have done in the past, that my law firm does work for Westlands Water District. We are not working on this particular water transfer deal. I'm not working on this water transfer deal. I haven't talked to Westlands Water District about it. But in order for me to help you document the sale with Westlands, you need to agree that you know that my firm represents the district, but that I'm not going to have any involvement on the Westlands side. I strictly represent the seller side, which is Forest Hill PUD.
All right.
So who represents Westland?
I have no idea. They typically represent themselves because water transfers like this are routine.
So this waiver consists of you representing both?
No, it is expressly not me representing both. It is only me representing Forest Hill Public Utility District and not representing Westlands Water District, the buyer.
So it says approval of contact waiver. What's the contract waiver then?
It's a conflict waiver,
Oh, well, conflict.
and that's what we've just been describing.
So what he's saying is basically his office works for Westlands as well. So for him to represent us, he has to let us know that his office also does.
Then- Then Chronic will work with,
It just does.
That's correct.
Instead of Westland.
Correct.
so we'd be two ends of a negotiation with the same attorney firm, correct?
No.
No. But that's this waiver is saying that's not what's going to happen. That's saying that can't happen by law.
Well, you could agree to that.
Or
But
you
you're
could
not,
agree.
but you're not being asked to do that
Right.
because there's no benefit to that in this circumstance. The benefit is for me to represent Forest Hill Public Utility District in the negotiation or the documentation of this water sale. And I would not be representing Westlands Water District in that sale.
But have we done this waiver before?
Yes, and the past ones that you've approved and that were signed are included in your agenda packet, I think.
Back till how far?
I think the example that was approved and executed is from 2024.
Roger, do you have any questions?
No.
Mark? Diane?
No.
Ron, do you have any more?
Sure.
Anybody else want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the conflict waiver and authorize the general manager to sign the waiver letter.
Okay, I'll second that. Public comment? Anything on the owl?
No hands raised.
Still not up to speed.
All right, coming back.
So in that case, what we said is in the agenda.
From the representatives, so that's it.
That's all there.
Yeah, if we choose to sell water, but this isn't about selling the water then.
That's exactly right, Director Foster.
Yeah, that comes in closed session.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Chase Down,
Yes.
Mark Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
No.
Roger Bruin,
Yes.
Diane Foster.
No.
Motion carries 3-2. All right, moving right along. Getting into our board member action items. Tonight's first item is, board approval of Attorney Kyler Radin's employment contract to perform an assessment of the GM's contract. At April's board meeting, the board decided to use BBK as a special counsel for the review process surrounding the negotiation and approval of the GM's contract in 2024. The board also decided to bring back the contract from BBK for approval. This is the contract. And also the board is divided as to the existence of the negotiation team appointed in 2024 to bargain the GM's 5-year contract. They're divided on the legitimacy of one board member voting via Zoom on the contract while on vacation based as defined in Government Code 54953 and AB 2449. Therefore, there is a need for outside counsel to resolve the conflict submitted by Diane Foster. And so request an outcome, approve the BBK contract. Roger? Mark?
Sorry, I have some issues with this. It starts with what we had approved before was a not to exceed number. And that's not what I see in this contract. I see a deposit for 5K, but no restrictions on how much, not a not to exceed number. So this is counter to what we had approved before. So that's that one issue. The other thing that we worked with quite a bit is that we had a scope of work. This makes no reference to the scope of work at all. And so it seems like it's a little bit vague in terms of what they're going to do. The only thing that they have in there is analyze whether approval of the general manager's contract was valid, possibly other matters as requested. So this is open to, in essence, doing anything whatsoever for the district. So we have a contract with no upper limit of money and no restriction on what they're doing. So I have that as a second problem. As a third problem, we just had a conflict waiver voted on and approved a 3-2 vote. So luckily it was approved. However, in this document, as part of the contract, as they lay it out, is an advanced conflict waiver, just similar to what we've had for Chronic's case, except it's a lot more varied in terms of what they can do. It really goes all over the map. It's the same kind of a conflict waiver, and as such, not a big deal. But I find it hard to see why if a board member will vote on this after not voting on fire. So anyway, there's my concept, all three concerns.
Eric, really, would you be able to weigh in on this at all?
Sure. The difference between this agreement and the board's direction to move forward with retention of the firm at the last meeting on the scope of the work and the not to exceed amount could be solved by simply editing this agreement and adding those items, right? So that's easy to do, and you guys could direct staff, you could authorize and direct staff to make those changes and send it back if that's what the board wants to do. The conflict waiver is what we call a forward waiver, meaning that the Best and Krieger firm has not identified what the potential future conflict might be. And that is to say, what they're saying is, we, BBK, represent lots of water districts all over the state. And they're asking Forest Hill Public Utility District to agree now that in the event that Best and Krieger client water district gets into some kind of a conflict, a dispute with Forest Hill Public Utility District, they're asking you to commit that you will not use BBK's work on general manager contract matter as a basis to stop Best and Krieger from representing some other water district against Forest Hill Public Utility District in the future. And so this is a broad forward waiver that would allow Best and Krieger to represent a district against Forest Hill in the future.
Would you say that's standard practice?
We don't ask clients to sign forward waivers like this because we don't think they're enforceable, because you don't know what the future conflict might be about. And so you can't knowingly waive it because you don't know what you're agreeing to allow BBK to do against you in the future. And so this shouldn't work.
There are no conflicts. They've already checked that out. Kyle checked that out months ago.
Mhm.
So I already know that. So there's no conflict.
Currently.
And
Yeah, this isn't about current conflicts. This is potential future conflicts, just so you understand what they're asking. And so you can sign this, but I don't know that it would work in the future.
Yeah, you're just saying you don't necessarily know why they're including it, because it doesn't really mean a hill of beans, basically.
Right, like we don't ask clients to do this sort of thing.
Just because
so does everybody understand the conflict?
No, there's no conflict.
there's no conflict.
I'm not. What's the thing, yes, there is a conflict. It's his contract.
Well, that's not what we're talking about.
No, I don't think Eric is involved in that. He's not involved in that.
Well, it's not Eric we're talking about, it's BB&K. And BB&K doesn't.
BBK is coming here to evaluate Mark Bell's vote while on vacation. That's all.
Well, not necessarily. That wasn't the product that we
Yes,
still
it
worked.
was.
That wasn't the whole, I mean, that's part of it, but that's not the whole scope. There was actually a bigger scope. of work.
Well, there were two, okay, well, when I get my turn, I'll.
Your turn.
Oh, okay, my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What Mark said isn't true, that when we did this approval last month, it's right here in the minutes that Sally put out. There is a scope of 2 items, and I've been pushing and reinforcing that for a long time. You made the motion and it says it right here. Number 1, that the scope is to process based assessment of the negotiation of the general manager's contract employment agreement.
Mhm.
Number 2, which is going to involve the negotiation committee, okay? And okay, number 2, the scope shall include evaluation of whether the process was followed with, and then we go to the state law.
Right, so
That's all he's
what
doing.
Mark was saying is, in the contract, it doesn't say that.
You tell him that.
That's,
You don't have to put it in the
What contract?
contract. You don't have to put it in the contract. This is just.
Thanks, contract.
so in the PG&K contract, that's where.
We're just approving that we want him to do the job and we have a goal of 5,000. Now, I wanna also mention, this is where I noticed this, and I didn't notice it when I voted for approval of this last month, but I noticed that you added something in here which we never discussed, and I don't agree with it, because what it's gonna do, it's going to I mean, if we're not careful, it will go beyond 5,000. And this is the thing that you said, Chase. It was 13 lines down on the minutes.
On the minutes.
It says, and to provide recommendation for future compliant compliance, transparency. We never discussed what Kyler was going to do. His only job was to evaluate the law, you know, that we had a conflict with, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that was that, and that should be pretty simple for him to do. Number one, and then the other one is to take a look, and I've already got my stuff prepared. It's pretty simple. You look and see what our board policies are for creating a bargaining committee, negotiation committee. You look at what our board policy shows, you look at the minutes, and you look at what the basically the state law says about, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. What a committee's called, if it's, and I've got all that documentation, and that's all his job is to just read it. Just read it and interpret the law. That has to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
Right.
and that's it. But we didn't discuss him, Kyler then, coming up with a plan, how we do stuff in the future. We never discussed that, and that would take more money. So we want to scratch that part out. And then also, the last thing I want to say is, this will cost under 5,000 if we're all very articulate. I don't have a whole lot to say to Kyler. I just got the documentation for him. It's not, because it really isn't we can't go with he said, she said, correct? Because down here or we have some people saying, oh yeah, there was a negotiation committee. We have people saying, no, there wasn't. And so you have to look, our word, it's one word against.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
He said, she said, right.
Yeah, so what we do is we look at the documentation and we give, and then Mark gives his documentation. I have mine already prepared. And I already told you guys what it was, you know, the agenda, the minutes, and the state law, which kind of can look up himself. And but I do have that prepared for him. It wouldn't take him, I don't think, more than an hour or two to look at my stuff. And it's not gonna take that long to look at the agenda, our agenda and our minutes, our work policy, you know, and just for that portion right there. And so we want to be very careful that we are very articulate, and I mean, not bloviate to Kyler, because I think he wants to interview everybody and he has to do what he wants to do, right? And we don't know what works for Kyler. But whatever works for him, we want to make sure that each of us are very not going to babble on, right? To take up hours of Kyler's time. It cost us money. That's what I want to say. But I do think that section needs to be taken out.
So,
That one.
so I think what we could do here,
Else looks good to me.
I think what we could do here is, cause I don't think it needs to come back to the board. I think that I could probably handle the negotiating of this contract and getting it. edited
Yeah,
out,
I think
right?
so. Yeah,
So I
I
think
think
what
it
we
needed to
could
come
do-
back to the board.
Right, but that's what we discussed last time, so
Yeah.
that's why I have
Yeah.
to, so
I
if
agree.
we could get, let's see, how do we do this here?
You just need to sign it and give it to Kyler.
Let me ask you, you brought this contract, back to us to approve.
Mhm.
Why did you bother bringing it to us? You probably thought that this was not right.
Well, because we asked that the contract be brought back for approval. That was actually in a motion at the last
Oh,
board,
yeah, no, I realize
Yeah.
that.
so that's what we did.
You see, the,
I understand,
Mhm.
but it would have been nice to just say right off the top. When you put it in the agenda, that you knew that this doesn't meet it and we'd have to go back again. Because right now, I'm sorry, it kind of tarnishes your reputation. Because you were kind of already working with them, weren't you, to get this done, or was that Diane?
No, that was Diane, that was,
Okay.
so that was, I did not put the contract together, I asked them for a contract from them, and then I'd take it to the board and see what we can get for approval, but at the last board meeting, it was specifically, stated that they wanted to have them make up a contract and have them see it brought back here to the board. If it was up to me, then, well, we would have negotiated something different, but and then all we asked them, and actually in Diane's defense here even as well,
see,
then we only asked Diane to say, hey, let Kyler know that we chose them and write up a contract. This is basically their first revision of that contract. And then I was going to make a motion to, actually at the last meeting, to do that, but then some other members decided to say, hey, no, let's bring the contract back. So that's how that ended up being. So,
That's fine, I understand.
comment,
We gotta go forward.
what you're widening a gap that doesn't need to be widened. What you have is a little narrow thing. He is attempting to be, or he is going to be hired for one, well, for, which he was talking about.
Yeah, for the thing we
One
approved.
main thing.
Yeah.
Was his vote legal while on vacation? That is the primary. And it was illegal according to,
Well, so
which when expired is
how about this?
AB 2449 and
How-
2302.
How about this?
Black and white, it's not.
I'll make a motion to appoint, this is weird. I'll make a motion to appoint me to negotiate with BB&K to amend the contract to have the scope of work put into it minus the, what's that section that you didn't want in?
Yeah, it's the part that says, excuse me, and to provide recommendation for future. See, the
Let me see.
future, it's right there, it's a, or you could look on this one, this is the minutes.
There we go.
Where's the one she's talking about? In here somewhere.
Sally, where am I at on that motion? Lost my train
To
of thought.
call BBK and amend the contract to.
So,
Right there's where she's talking about.
yeah,
Forward.
so, yeah. To negotiate with BB&K to, amend the contract to include the scope of work and the,
That's good, I'm approving that,
yeah, to include the scope of work and,
which is right here.
hold on, Diane, I'm losing my train of
Sorry,
thought for
sorry.
some reason.
Yeah.
Approve the scope of work. Why can't I not think of this right now? I'm
What
having
was that?
brain farts. Thank God they don't stink. Like, I tell
Well, do
you.
you want to read this?
Well, so I'm kind of trying to get both
Well,
of
it
your
might
guys',
help you, it might
yeah.
help you with that one.
trying to get both of your guys' into
Because that's
one.
what you wrote the last month.
Approve the scope of work minus, quote, to provide recommendations for future compliance and transparency and include the, not to exceed number of $5,000.
Okay, I guess.
I'll,
Or is that?
as
is
a
that
strange occurrence, I'll second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying?
Yeah, that sounds good. So in other words, it's basically what you said last month, just taking out the, and.
Yeah,
adding
and me being able to negotiate with BB&K directly and being, yeah.
I'm just hoping that the board and anybody that's involved that gets interviewed will, or submits documents, will be very, I don't know what I'm afraid that somebody will say, oh, really? Throw in tons of stuff to Kyler and it takes more than 5,000. I'm concerned about that. I won't do it.
What is?
Ron,
Hold on, we got a motion on the floor. Let's get through that first.
Oh, okay.
Public comment. Anything on the owl?
Nothing.
You have a minute? Sally, while we're taking that minute, can you read the motion back?
So Chase made a motion to have Chase negotiate with BBK to amend the contract to include scope of work and minus.
And I quote. And minus quote.
That's, I do have that, minus quote, to provide recommendations for future transparency and not to exceed $5,000.
Now, what was the transparency part? I didn't.
That's the part that you didn't like, the future transparency.
Provide recommendation for future compliance. It was compliance.
Compliance and transparency.
Compliance and transparency.
Well, you don't have transparency.
Future compliance and transparency.
You don't have, there it is. Okay, okay.
Okay, still nothing on the owl?
Nothing.
Okay,
Nothing.
further board member comment?
Yes. What is the negotiations you're gonna be doing with it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be going back to get the contract wording correct with these revisions. Instead of it having to come back to the board every time, we can get this thing going.
Oh, so you're going to talk to Kyler and then you're going to sign it, correct?
Yes. Well, actually, I didn't, so that's why you gotta make, gonna have to make an amendment to my
Let's
motion.
vote on this first.
Yeah, let's vote on this because I wanted to make an amendment to this, actually, this motion.
You have my paper. Can I have a package?
Which one?
It's my Bible on
Which
the
one?
meeting. I don't know.
No,
Was it that red line one I gave you?
that-
Cause I handed you one.
You handed, I gave.
I handed you
Oh,
one.
yeah. that-
Oh, this one right here, Diane.
Oh,
I gave it more.
okay. Okay.
Can I make an amendment to the, because I thought about it.
I've lost. Can we just hear it again?
Yeah.
No interruptions, please.
Okay, so Chase made a motion to have Chase negotiate with BBK to amend the contract to include the scope of work and minus a quote to provide recommendations for future compliance and transparency and not to exceed.
Unquote.
5,000.
Yeah, don't forget the unquote part, unquote, because then then it sounds like we're minusing out that 5,000.
Oh.
Thanks, Eric, I appreciate that.
Is that right?
Yeah, with the unquote part, yeah.
Okay, unquote at the end.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Mark said,
No, unquote before the word and, referring to the.
And include the $5,000.
So your language for the 5,000 not to exceed that you had is accurate, but you want to put that close quote before it.
oh, okay, so it's Chase made the motion to have Chase negotiate with BBK. With the BBK contract to include scope of work. And minus, well, to provide recommendations for future compliance and compare transparency, unquote. And not to exceed $5,000.
There you go.
Now I have a question. So what's missing out of that is the actual scope. So are you going to tell Kyler what the scope is?
Well, what we approved for April,
Oh, okay.
what our scope.
Will it be
The
included?
scope of work.
Well, yeah, but what's your?
So so there's two things,
Yeah,
and I gotta ask Eric this.
yeah.
Eric, can I amend my my motion at this point, or do I have
If
to
you want, I think it might be simpler to save that.
say that, have this
Existing
vote, then
motion,
redo
get
it?
a vote, and then ask for another vote on authorization for you to sign.
So do this one. And then authorize my,
To execute that.
okay, let's do it.
You got it all. I couldn't, how could I do that? You're asking me to vote for this when it isn't completed with the two things that he has to do. But you're asking me to.
Well, what we could do right now is, just give me a second, we could have this vote. Vote no on it, and then correct it, since she's already got most of the
All
work,
right, okay.
and then restart the process.
Or just withdraw your motion.
Okay, how about that? I'll just withdraw my motion,
Sounds good.
but now I'm gonna,
Do you wanna have this back again? Would you like?
I'm gonna make another motion. Okay, so Sally, go through this with me again. So we're going to negotiate. Chase is making a motion, I'm making a motion to be appointed to negotiate the contract with BB&K and sign said contract once it's amended to include the scope of work from our April 8th meeting that was approved by the board, minus the
I highlighted.
quote, recommendation for future compliance and transparency. And end quote. And include the not to exceed amount of $5,000 approved by the board in April.
Yes, I like that. That's good. I like that. That's correct.
Thank you. Mark, you want to second that again?
No.
I couldn't I got it out of you once, not twice.
Second.
Thank you. Public comment. Anything on the out?
No.
Give it a second. Still nothing?
No.
All right. Any further board member comment?
So, can you give me your time schedule on that? So then,
I'll have to get Tyler on that.
yeah,
Well, and so we'll just, but I'll start working.
will you call him?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell him that you're gonna call.
Yeah, I'll,
Okay, all right.
roll call vote?
Chase Down,
Yes.
Mark Bell,
No,
Ron Thompson,
Yes, Ron. He has a hearing problem. You got, I mean, really, you don't always hear, right?
No, I'm,
Oh, you're thinking,
yes.
thought maybe your hearing aid wasn't working. I'm sorry, I thought,
Yes.
I thought it was.
I'm not confused.
No, not confused. I thought your hearing aid maybe was.
No, they're working.
Oh,
Try
okay.
to try to-
That was a yes, Ron?
Yes.
Okay, Roger Pruitt
No,
and Diane Foster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2. All right, moving right along.
Right up.
8.2, the board exploring hiring another attorney firm. The time has come to consider hiring a different attorney firm to represent the FPUD. The current firm has been with the FPUD council for approximately 15 years. During this time, there have been some costly decisions made which was against the financial well-being of the FPUD and the ratepayers. The district would benefit in seeking another attorney firm with a new and fresh perspective on legal matters and advice. Request outcome, publish an RFP in search for a new attorney firm to represent the Forestville Public Utility District. Diane?
Okay, over the last 14 years, under the oversight of the current FPUD attorney firm, the FPUD has engaged in at least two costly issues. The first one was the FPUD lost the miners' camp 6-year lawsuit, which was avoidable and cost the ratepayers an estimated $500,000. The second one was the effort to acquire a permit from the State Water Resource Board for a 49-year extension of time to raise the Sugar Pine Dam, cost the ratepayers approximately $8 million, and that effort continues today with no end in sight that an extension would be granted. When I was elected in November of 2024, I was to take office in December, like all newly elected officials before me. The general manager wanted to delay my swearing in for another month based on state code that did not apply to special districts. I saw no effort on the FPUD attorney's part to remedy the conflict. It was the Placer County Election Department and their attorney who came to my rescue and produced the correct state code. In early 2025, I introduced a proposal to begin videotaping our board meetings, which would improve FPUD transparency, and it is common practice among other board entities. Rather than taking a supportive position, our general manager informed us that our attorney firm expressed the possibility of liability issues if we chose to implement the videotaping. There was no encouragement offered. Another focus of mine was to expand the contents of the monthly minutes to include a summary of discussion on each agenda item, which was how it was done prior to 2017, prior to the general manager taking over the secretary position. Also, our board policy reinforces my position. Once again, Hank relayed to us that the FPUD attorneys expressed concern that it would open the door for liability issues. Again, no encouragement offered. Lastly, I want to point out that in 2024, our attorney firm supervised the negotiation process of the general manager's contract on behalf of the board. The contract conditions were generous, with the general manager receiving a 5-year contract, which is unheard of for this position. This weakens any leverage a board might have to hold the general manager accountable for his performance as GM. I think the attorney should have been more determined arguing against a 5-year contract. So I think it's time for a new and fresh perspective on legal matters and advice. Now, I know my opposition is going to argue, I've already heard the argument, that the current firm has kept their rates low over the years, and we should be grateful. That's a quote. However, I refer you to my Excel chart, which is on page 119, 121, which lists all the costs for several years for the attorney firm, which are my point was to show how much money was spent on the miners' camp. The attorney firm was the only winner in the miners' camp lawsuit with their numerous billing hours, just as they continue to have guaranteed billing hours over the issue of acquiring a 49-year permit to raise the dam, a permit that will never materialize, as the FPUD has been waiting for 15 years for the state board to make a decision. To this day, Hank provides the firm sufficient billing hours each month to make it worthwhile to keep their charges at a minimum. And that's why I think it's time for us to get a different perspective and, about how we run our MPUD. And so I'm requesting, well, I guess you'll want to have comments
Yeah.
before we make the proposal, okay.
Roger?
I think it's just more witch hunting myself, but, you know, that's my opinion.
Mark?
Page and a half.
Only a page and a half?
There's a whole bunch here. If you want that. I will side note to Sally, since this is something I've handed out. It will become part of the record that goes in anyway, so you don't need to try and summarize this in depth. So for professional services, one typically stays with the provider as long as services are acceptable. This is because replacement will always cost more initially in order for both the district and especially a new provider, such as a law firm or an accountant or anything else, to become aware of the intricacies of that relationship and the particularities of the district and its needs, and we're pretty particular. We have a lot of needs. Just consider your own personal lives. We move away from an excellent auto mechanic arbitrarily after a few years, just because time had passed. That just doesn't seem like it's something we do. If you had your doctor, would you say, oh no, I've been with you for a couple of years, I'm out of here, I'm going somewhere else? No, you wouldn't do that. And there's that extra cost part. And we've seen with a new finance manager and a new auditor, both of which had to change here recently, what the cost was. I actually looked it up. It's not a little note. The first year we were with the LSL was about 155K to do accounting. The very next year was down to 109. That's a 40K, over a 40K savings. Based on that, getting to know what the district is doing. That is what you have, that's what you have to pay for when you go to somebody else. Next on my item number 2 is the attachments that came in the board packet provided absolutely no details on any unacceptable services provided by the current lawyer. They only provide vague inferences that the lawyer was responsible for costly decisions. That is absolutely false. At no time has the lawyer made any financial decisions. All financial decisions are made by the board. And to go further, the whole purpose of a lawyer is to advise. In this case, it was advising on things like the suit. That was a big thing of the costs. We just heard a while ago advising on other things, like whether we put minutes on, whether we I can't remember what all the other things that Diane just said. That's all advice. That is the purpose of the lawyer, advise. We can then decide, as we did in the case of the owl, it is sitting there. We took that advice and said, okay, it doesn't sound like it's that bad, but we're going to do it anyway. That is the purpose of a lawyer. So not a lot of backup or no backup is provided on how any fresh perspective magically provides a beneficial form from a new provider. The law does change over time. That's the way it happens. It morphs. And a fresh perspective might be necessary. But consider that lawyers keep current with the changes in the law, and our lawyers do that. And that's so they can provide that fresh perspective. And we can get that without moving away from a successful arrangement currently. So we heard some examples here of what somebody was upset with for giving advice. But here's what our lawyer has benefited for the district. It provided key assistance and water transfers that have provided a net benefit of $1.9 million. That is a big freaking number. We provided routine ongoing service, including labor discussions, contract review, Proposition 218 guidance, which was a huge deal, as well as review for that and a better method to avoid future lawsuits. Expert advice on water rights, starting back to the initial hire and still continuing. Keep in mind that I've been here this whole time. And they also provide training for special districts. This is something that they don't need to do, but they do that as part of their work, their business practice. As to the cost details included in the packet, thank you, Diane, for showing us how important it is to have a well-placed lawyer that can help the district to that extent. That was a lot of money. But since lawsuits seem to highlight that cost detail, and you kind of emphasized it again, we need to take a look at that cost benefit. And a little about why those costs were high. I want to emphasize again, first off, it was the board that decided to proceed with any and all suits and made all decisions regarding the suit, whether we continued, whether we stopped, whether we folded, whether we settled. Those were all decisions made by the board, not by the lawyer. The lawyer advised. So let's look a little more at some of the impacts of those suits. For Miners Camp, and this is data taken that was published by James Stoller on the letter to the Messenger. So the FPD attorneys for Miners Camp, our attorneys that were handling Miners Camp, the whole cost for that was $300K. Miners Camp, at the trial court, their lawyers, plaintiff attorney fees, if you look on the right hand side of the middle note there, got about $90,000, $89,560. They'd asked for almost $500,000. So we avoided by that, going through that suit to that point, we avoided almost $400,000 in costs. Then we went through appeal. In the appeal, the plaintiff's lawyers got about $46,000. They'd asked for $113,000. That's another $67,000 in costs that we avoided. The restitution, I heard it said that Miners Camp won. Miners Camp did win this lawsuit. They did win this lawsuit. They won $468. That was all they won. They had asked for $39,000 during the restitution phase. They'd asked for more of it earlier. So FPD avoided another $38,000. So if we look at the tail end of that, Miners Camp received about $136,000. They'd asked for $634,000. We avoided $498,000. Out of the $300,000 that we paid $300K. We avoided $500,000. So let's look, and I've heard, well, this makes no sense whatsoever. Why should we have done this? Or you can see here, if we'd have just collapsed, we'd have paid $634,000, way more than the $136,000 we paid. And if we'd have paid the lawyer, we would still have paid too much. But there was a second lawsuit. Now let's talk a little bit about that. You can go back and look at the records of that. It's the lawsuit had the same complaint, exactly the same complaint. Same district over here, same FPD, same board, same FPD attorney, different plaintiff, same plaintiff's attorney. The only difference is the plaintiff. How did that come out? The FPD attorney costs for that were $17,500, way less. The other plaintiff had 81 units compared to Miners Camp of about 7. Out of all that, the negotiated settlement was $35,000. That's what they got. That included, they had to pay their own lawyers' fees out of that, but that's the total amount. They asked for $264. There's another $227 we avoided. So for both of this whole routine, FPD attorney's fees were $317,000. We avoided $726,000 in this process, only having to do with these two lawsuits. That in itself is amazing. We did very well. But here's the next part that you probably won't get very much, because this is an independent work that I've done. And that is, if we had given up to Miners Camp and what they wanted, because they wanted way more than that second plaintiff. If they gave up to them, that would have affected every other ratepayer in the district to that extent that they were asking for that money. That would have cost the district another $1.3 million. $1.3 million. So that's what this lawsuit was all about. It wasn't about this negotiated amount. We negotiated on that one attorney down to $35K, but we were protecting $1.3 million of income that this district would have been out had Miners Camp truly won what they were trying to win, instead of that $468. By the way, that was paid back in 2019 sometime. So that total impact to the district could have easily been over $2 million, but it was not. So as a ratepayer, I'm certainly glad FPUD paid $317.5 to this attorney to avoid paying this $2.06 million. And I think all ratepayers would agree with that. In conclusion, I think there are really no details on why we should replace our current lawyers. However, our lawyers have brought in $1.9 million in revenue, as well as hope to avoid another $2 million in additional costs. That puts us about $4 million better off with these lawyers than without them. And I commend their performance during all of this time.
You done, Mark?
I'm done.
Thank you. Ron?
Well, his numbers are in supposition. These are not guaranteed numbers. And where did you get the numbers from?
I
Did
referenced
you
right
get them
there.
from the,
What was it
Chronic?
from Forrest the Messenger?
So
where did you get these from, Chronic?
right in there, I said, we got them. These are from Jane Seller of Letter to the Messenger. And Jane and I, and to some extent, information, off of, information we were able to achieve, put that together.
Okay,
So that is reliable. If we go back and get information, off of the records, we will come within, I don't know, $15,000-$20,000 of being right on. These are good numbers.
okay. My complaint, besides miners camp. There were two contracts, as you know. One contract I got from PCWA with the generic contract I brought to pre-October, couple of months. Vance took it. And he brought back a contract. And we all went through it very carefully and we agreed that 5-0. That's what he was talking about, but we never did tell the public that there were two contracts. So when we came back to that meeting, Van said, this is not the contract that we agreed upon. This is Hank's contract. We never even got to read that contract, and Hank claims that that contract was in the October agenda. It was, but it wasn't the same contract that was forced onto the board members and it was passed. They're not the same contract. There were variations. Also in that contract that was constructed by Chronic, there were no numbers for benefits. I went down to Hank's office, and so I got called in for that, or called up for that, and asked him what they were. And he refused to give them to me. And finally, before I left, he said he would give them to me the mid next week. Okay. So to this day, we do not know what the benefit package is in that contract. But the contract the generic contract that was given to us, we went through and we agreed upon, was drawn back from us. Vance took them. And to do something I'm not fond of, you talked to Vance before Hank's contract and before the generic contract within an hour or two. Now, I can assume a lot of things. I can assume you told him to take those contracts back. This is why the deception is why I don't like that. Miners camp, when I went to the trial. I watched that trial. Mark Bell was sitting right behind me and Diane was sitting over across the aisle. And you guys come in good. I mean, it was prepared perfectly. Out of the 15 minutes that the judge gave us, we took 10 of them. So the prosecution took over and the conversation went on. And one of the questions that he asked, hey, well, you tell me you don't know how you charge for water by 100 gallons or 1,000 gallons? And he's squirming around. Of course, the judge is watching his computer. And I leaned back to him and I said, prosecution's got him cornered. And you gonna like this. She's also a witness. He's hurt himself in court.
Let's not be so speculative.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is why I am not
Well, and
keeping this firm. It is
let's not speculate so much.
time for a change. It's not speculation. It's facts.
I'd like to add something as well. It won't take a lot
Go ahead.
of time. Okay, so, first of all, just for the audience of anybody watching this video, that the settlement was $98,000. Okay, that we had to pay because MPUD was wrong. They should have never been taking money from people that weren't using the water. And, but I would encourage people to look at the Excel program that I put together of Chronix fees. Unfortunately, I was only able to get 2 years worth because when it started, it started in 2017. I don't have access to the figures, but I do have access to the last 2 years, for year, 2021, 22. The attorney fees were 100, and I'm sure most of it was going for the minor scam, $106,000 to round it off. And then for year, what year was it? The year before, and then another year it was $168,610. That was only 2 years, and there were 3 other years that I can't find the documentation because I don't have access. I haven't been able to get it. Now, there are 2 scenarios that the attorney could have given the board in reference to what Mark was saying was, well, does the board that make a decision? Yes, the attorney's role is to give advice. So my question to myself is, and I throw this out there were 2 possibilities of advice. One was that the attorney firm advised against the lawsuit and the board ignored him. That's one possibility, ignored them and went along with a stupid lawsuit that cost ratepayers a fortune. Or the attorney firm could have said, nah, it's not a good idea. And the second alternative is, yeah, we might as well do it. And the board went along with it. I don't like either one. And the board's made a very bad decision in that case. And they were irresponsible in my opinion. So I just wanted to kind of say, to comment, kind of contradict what Mark was saying. So that's all I have to say. I would like to eventually make an motion.
I'm gonna make a comment real quick, so.
Okay,
My stance on these things is. I always fall in the middle in these grounds, right? Because I can look back and go, my experiences with Chronic so far have been pretty good. I haven't been led astray. Of course, I don't, there's gonna be some, stuff with, BB&K that we're gonna find out if, that one law, the 549563 or whatever it is, California state law, what the official position. But I feel pretty confident that they were correct in giving me that advice, but we'll see. Right, we'll have to end up finding that out.
Yeah.
But I can see where, you put too much, because I'm not dogging Chronic on this. I just think if you can put too much power in a position for too long. And so maybe there should be a review process, to where, we end up looking for in the future, a review of all of our contracted services, like our legal counsel and our general managers, our board secretary, or things of that nature, our financial services, right? Maybe we should start holding a yearly review of these things, and then, maybe not have a contract really that goes over 4 years or maybe even 2 years. So new boards get a chance to vote on these things and vote on who's actually representing us and doing that matter. So, I can see where we could correct that in policy, but that all comes back to the board, and I don't think Chronic necessarily should bear the brunt of our wrath on that at this time. But I think that we could definitely do better as a board and come up with policy that does reflect better oversight and a better review process. So,
So,
you raise your hand. Go ahead, Ron.
One other quick comment. In a meeting, a past meeting, a couple meetings ago, Vance was here and it was about the contract. And I told Vance, I said, Chronic, usually a contract is presented by a company to a possible employee. Chronic stepped on the employee's side and did not represent the district. And on tape is when I said that to Vance, you did not represent the district, because we agreed on one contract. And he looked at Hank and said, you'll have to get your own attorney. That's it.
Right, because Chronic represents the district, not the general manager.
That's right. But that didn't happen.
Mark?
So, actually, Dan, I wanted to thank you because the $98,000 number, I had that also. But I wanted to stick with the numbers that were in the messenger. So thank you for coming up with that, because I wasn't sure that that was in the public domain.
It comes out of the disbursements, cash register.
But that's about $10,000 that I said that my numbers could be off. So, yeah, so there's another 10K in there. Another thing that I think Chase hit on a bit is that, you're looking pretty hard at hiring a lawyer to come in and see if our lawyer is doing a good job. Maybe this whole process should be delayed until we know what the result is. But right now, like I said, there's nothing that we have that says that the attorney is not doing a good job. There's been a lot of waffling back and forth, particularly with people that weren't here, that don't know what was going on in the board meeting, what the lawyer said, how that went. Those are tough things to make a decision on innuendo and assumptions. So that might be a possibility. So we just, wait for any kind of review here until that contract review information completed.
You mean, until Kyler makes a decision?
That's a possibility.
I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. If you wanna wait another month and wait and see what he comes up with.
Well, if you're ready for a motion, I'm gonna try a different one anyway. And that's that, I move that we confirm our current attorney firm as ongoing for the next 2 years.
Second that.
Public comment?
What is the motion?
I concur with Mark, all that he said were factual. I was on the board. You have no idea how many times that bounced back and forth between Miners Camp and us. And Chronic advised, didn't tell us what to do. As a board, we did it and we fought it so that we didn't have to pay out $1 million. And that's all that Miners Camp wanted. Diane, you can shake your head all you want.
Hold on, you.
We all know.
Yeah, I do too. I've talked to.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Any other public comment on the owl?
Okay. I have a hand raised.
Okay.
Sue, looks like Sue Keesling possibly.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep, we can hear you just fine. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, how's your?
I
are
would
you okay?
like to. Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to ask Hank to adjust the camera to include the whole board, including Ron Thompson. You have the camera ending at Diane. 3/4 of the time Ron has been talking, he has not been on camera. And at one point, it looks like he's almost out of range because the sound was messing up and I couldn't hear what he was saying. So could you please adjust the owl? It's supposed to go to whoever is talking.
Is
But that's not happening here. And when it does go to Ron, and this has happened in the last half a dozen meetings, the camera is on the top of his head and the ceiling. What's up? Could you please
Yeah.
move the
What, doesn't
camera
have a three
so
sixty?
all board members are visible?
Automatically adjust to who's speaking in the room. So Ron, if you want to say some words, let's see. If it's picking your voice.
Sue, real quick, was that your only comment?
Oh, I got a lot more to say, but I'm gonna
Well,
be
let me, so real
respectful,
quick, let
and
me
that's
adjust
it.
this camera and
I
see.
just would request right now that he just moves the camera a little past Diane to include Ron Thompson,
So.
because the camera isn't properly picking him
Yeah,
up.
that's fine. Try to see.
It's supposed to be 360,
Yeah, it's supposed to be 360. I don't know.
supposed to turn itself.
Yeah, it should. That's what you'd think. Is it better?
There, now he's on.
Like,
Hopefully it'll work better now. And
so Ron, if you
God,
wanna
Mark,
say
would
something
you
so we can
stop
try to
smirking at
get your voice out.
everybody? You're so
I don't know what I should
disrespectful.
say, but I'm just talking about the normal volume.
So maybe Chase.
Here, just maybe
If
scoot
you
this one.
moved- Well, it won't scoot much further because.
Oh, yeah, it's got-
Try.
Yeah, try to see as much as we can.
It used to rotate when we first got it, but.
Well, I think it still does, but it's not picking up.
Doesn't look like.
So now it's got Ron.
I don't care if you, there's Maggie doing.
Well, then. She said it was only
I
catching part of
stopped,
his
you
head.
know,
There. How's that? There. A little more level, maybe? Give that a shot.
Okay.
Okay.
It looked like that plate was on.
Thank you for that, Sue. Is she still there?
I think so.
So do you have more to say?
I thought Hank muted me already. I have some to say, but I'm, gonna be respectful to Eric. I do hope that we can move this forward and look for a new attorney that will always represent the ratepayer. And I am signing out, and thank you for listening.
Thanks, Sue. Get better. Anyways, we had a motion. Okay. Did we get a, then that was public comment?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the motion.
I made a motion to confirm the current attorney firm as ongoing for the next 2 years.
I seconded it.
Okay.
Got Sally?
Yes.
Is there any other, hands raised on the L?
No hands.
No hands? All right. Coming back, roll call vote, please.
Chase Down,
No.
Mark Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
no,
Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
Diane Foster.
No.
Motion fails 3-2. Diane,
2-3.
or 2-3, sorry.
Oh.
2-3. But that, yes.
there's
You're
still,
correct.
nobody's phone.
Well, you wanna make your motion?
Yeah.
If I could
I
just say something before you go, I don't know when is the right time to say this, but I wanna make sure I get it in before the end of it. So a lot of wild allegations were made, about, improper conduct by my law firm. And I categorically reject all of those allegations. They are false. They're based on, I don't know what. I haven't seen any basis for any of these things. I was ambushed today with these allegations because I haven't had a performance review or anything like that where this could have been brought up and I would have an opportunity to respond on the merits. And so because it's an ambush, I'm not going to go toe to toe and refute all of these things, which I am confident can be refuted. And so I'll just leave it at that.
Diane?
I will say in what you're saying is that, two of the things that I mentioned came from Hank. So he said it to us. So the motion, yeah, okay. I request, to publish an RFP in search for a new attorney firm to represent the MPUD.
That's a motion?
Yeah, did I do it wrong?
No, I don't think it's appropriate at this time.
Oh, so you wanna wait a month?
You rescind your
Or
motion?
two.
Yeah, until the assessment time, I think,
Yes, you gotta.
yeah, okay, I'll withdraw it.
Yeah.
I'll withdraw it. I guess I still would like to know though, you don't have any time frame, right? Because I know that dialers were willing to start right away.
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean, we'll just have to negotiate a contract and.
But you'll have it all done by next month though, correct?
Oh, the contract and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to work on it this.
So then we can expect then Tyler will.
Well, I don't know when he'll be, but he'll be started work on it,
Yeah,
I'm sure. It depends on him. I can't speak for him.
well, I can't.
Yeah,
Like, he's been in the wings for months
Yeah.
waiting.
so
And-
anyway, so Diane, what I
Yeah,
wanna do is I
yeah.
wanna make a motion
Okay,
to not see this agenda item back for at least 4 months.
why
Until after BB&K is done with their assessment.
well, can't you leave out the 4 months and just put down,
Well, that's my motion.
oh,
You wanna,
If you wanted to make that motion, Diane, you could.
you wanna push back the BBK for 4 months?
No, this
But-
agenda item, I wanna see it again for at least 4 months. Or until BB&K is done with their
he
assessment.
wants,
Can I get a-
he's assuming
Yes, I'll
that.
second.
Thank you. Public comment,
uh,
anything on the aisle?
Nothing on the out.
Second?
You haven't, can we talk
I
about?
almost.
Oh,
Still nothing?
Nothing.
Coming back to board member comment, Roger,
I'm good.
Mark?
the 4 months, I don't understand why you chose 4 months, because you're assuming that Tyler's gonna take 4 months? Why did you put 4 months in there?
It was, I felt right to me. I felt like that's probably gonna give us enough time
Well, enough time for what? If Kyler comes up.
to give
in a
Tyler
month,
his stuff and all that
It's
stuff.
not gonna take that long.
Well, like I said,
I-
Diane, you could have made the motion.
I did, but I object to 4 months.
Well,
That's just too
That's
long.
fine.
Now, what I would like to see, well, my motion, what I wanted to see is to look for it, to put the motion in after Tyler makes his assessment. After that, I mean, we don't know. if it's
Well,
gonna take
like I said, this motion was my opinion. And I think it's enough time. It gives us and
It's
puts.
way too much time.
Gives us September.
Explain this again, will you? You want to push this,
Not Tyler. I just wanna push out this particular agenda item,
In other words.
just this item. I don't wanna see it again until after 4 months or until after Tyler's made his,
well, why was this thought of before?
But
That's a
just
sim-
thought of it.
That's a simple thing.
It is pretty simple, I agree. Can I get a roll call?
Chief Dowling,
Yes.
Ron Bell, or Mark Belling,
Yes.
She really wants to call your last name.
Ron Thompson,
No,
Roger Pruitt.
Yes.
Diane Foster.
No,
Motion carries 3-2. Moving along. All right, we're moving into into our policy action items. This is consider revised job description for the treatment plant distribution operator 4 position. Recommended action item, approve revised job description. This is still part of the 1 per month that we had you start back in January, I do believe. Hank?
November.
No, was it November? Geez, that far back, okay. Laid
The
out,
decision was made in November. We've been doing it since, we've been.
December.
Since December. So this is the next in the series of operators. It again steps closer and closer towards a journey level. I would expect that this describes a journey level operator, but not the most senior. The most senior is an operator 5. And we'll be looking at that one next month. I took the approved job description and I completely rewrote it.
again,
Page 125 and 126. And it's there for your consideration.
And why did you completely rewrite?
Just start over fresh. Some of the things overlap, but, just take a look at it, take a look at where we are right now and just write something that's appropriate job description, for what, our crews were.
Okay. Roger? Mark?
I think this is a much better, much simpler, much easier to understand. The other one is very wordy, very long. This is certainly workable.
Ron?
No comment.
Ben?
No comment.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion to approve the revisions of the job description for the treatment plant distribution operator 4 position.
You'd like to, or you're doing it?
I'm making a motion to approve the job description for the treatment plant distribution operator 4 position.
I second it.
Okay, public comment? No? Anything on the owl?
No.
All right, coming back for roll call vote.
Lisa Dowling,
Yes?
Mark Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
Yes.
Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
and Diana Foster.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, moving right along to revision of policy 5025. I am submitting revisions to policy 5025 because after a few months of its implementation, I have found that it needs some adjustment for better understanding and workflow. I am submitting revisions to 5025.22, .23, .24.1, .24.2, and 25.25. Requested outcome, approved revisions. Roger? Mark?
Well, I have to say something, don't I?
Of course you. It wouldn't be a meeting without it.
Well, the devil's in the details and I'm all over the details.
Of course you.
So on 5025.24.1. A. It looks like that might have said a maximum of 3 and then the number 3 or the number 2, but the strikeouts shows the number 3, the words 3, and then a number 3.
So you said on, which one is it? 20,
So I'm looking at what I believe is the strikeout version, which is on page 129.
129. Okay, so I was on. Okay, 129. Okay. Okay, so it's the striking out the 3.
So you're striking out 3.
Mm-hmm. And then in the revision, it should be 2.
Well, see that, I can't tell because if this is a strikeout, it should show us the revision. So
Yeah, see a maximum
Where's-
of 2. There's a third section. So on, if you go to page 133. And then go to 120, 5025.24.1, a maximum of 2.
no, it says a maximum of 3.
Oh, it does, oh, dang it, I freaking son of a gun, I put the 2 and then left the number 3. Thank you for catching that.
Okay, but after going through this,
Yes, because that should have been struck. Right there.
I had
And
this.
that should be written out.
So this is new.
Yeah, there we go.
After also going through this for quite some time, I see what you've done. You've done, we've cleaned this up and made it a little bit easier to understand what we're kind of doing here. It's still sort of into this possibility where things might end up into future agenda items, but it doesn't have everything. But it could easily go into the main agenda items for action.
Yeah, if everything's
easy.
there and there's nothing clogging it up already.
Yeah, so, what I have a real issue with is 3 items per category. Is 9 items. 3 in each of these and 3 into the future. Actually, future isn't even suggested, so that's. If you say 2, 4, 6 items, new items to talk about. That's just too many. So I would opinion back for you, how about we would leave in a maximum of 3 items, not per category? So it could be 3 items anywhere in policy, action, or
You're talking about board member action items in also to, and it's, so anytime there's a board member action item, whether it be on policy or
action or discussion,
or discussion.
it's 3. Now, I suppose I could be talking to leaving discussion open too, but the idea is we're just getting too much stuff. You know?
Yeah, okay, I'll take that into consideration when it's my turn to talk. What are some of your others?
That's it,
That's it? That's it?
that's it.
No.
Well, okay, I didn't.
All right, Ron,
Yes, I think you should make it legible.
that would,
Well, and use blue ink instead of yellow ink on white paper. You can't read this stuff.
you just did a strike through. I didn't use a color. I didn't do that.
Who did?
Well, somebody did.
That coloring, that's not even in my copy.
It's in the agenda, yeah,
It's in that like that?
I think so.
I didn't do that.
Downloaded right from it.
Yeah, I didn't. I
That's
think
illegible.
I think your printer messed up, cause mine's all in black and white.
Mine's in black and white too.
Unless there was something it might have been in the file, cause I think I did mine, the original strike in red.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I think I did it, yeah, I think, but it printed out in black on mine, so maybe,
On the district's
yeah,
website.
that's the way it should have been.
Well, that's.
Is yours in
Yeah,
color
it's
too?
That's weird, yeah.
Cause it was, my original strikes were all in
So I think
red,
that
just where we were
Well, I
striking.
wonder, how did it
Well,
come into this? Did you look at this one?
I did not.
Not legible.
See, but
You don't have this?
what is the one?
Yeah, this is what I got.
But you know what? As you can see over here, over there, and he's got what Word would have done. It's in red.
Yeah, it's in red.
And the
That's
yellow,
what it should have been, in
highlighter
red.
getting ready for this meeting.
Yeah,
he's got-
so that's
so
weird.
I think he's right. See how it's pixelated? You have some of this red, and some of it yellow. That's your printer.
But you're printed out like that too,
Well,
Diane.
I did
Where's your
I
pen?
did print it out,
Huh?
I'm looking
Where
at
did you print it?
forget
I
that.
printed it, I know.
Look at the seat.
I printed this whole damn thing every time it's not my printer.
So.
Then why would it have done it other
You know, here it
places?
is.
Instead of the things that needed to be
This
changed.
is what it looks
It's
like.
in red.
in,
You can look at it.
This one's in
Is
red.
that-
Yeah, should
Look
you,
at the
yeah.
website.
But I thought.
No way.
But it's in, no, mine was in red.
Well,
This
why
was,
isn't that in red?
I don't know. It's just the way they printed it out. But my strike throughs were all in red.
It's
They
just-
weren't in red, no.
Still legible, let's fix it.
Okay, yeah. Weird. Diane, you got?
Okay, so, regarding, you know how much I, just love policy 52.
Yeah, it's your favorite policy, is I
Yeah.
think of what you told me in the past.
Right, so here's my comment. I will cast neither a yes or no vote because I oppose the entire policy. I believe 5025, which of course, which Chase wrote, encourages censorship of agenda items and restricts directors by limiting agenda items, which leads to slowing down the progress of board's ability to perform their fiduciary responsibilities. So I won't be casting a vote because I oppose the whole policy.
That's fine. With, that one correction, so is that the only line, Mark, is it on that 3? Is that the only 3 that got missed?
Yeah.
Was that only written 3 on, 5025.24.1? Category
Yeah.
limits, 8, yeah, okay, so that should be, and that's the only correction. I personally think that we still should have 2 categories per.
2 items per.
Or 2 items per category, just because tonight we've had 2 items per category and, I mean, we're just now getting to 8 o'clock and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in operation action items, and that's typically more than what we have. So I think I would like to rock it with 2 for a while.
So let me just throw back.
Yeah.
We've had 2 of these items on here.
Mhm.
My concern is having 9.
No, I understand where you're coming from. What I would like to do is see if that ends up being an issue, and then we can adjust policy from there if we need to. And I think that's kind of our job as a board, is not just to, like, once we say tonight that this policy, it doesn't live forever. It's always, it's a moving and changing document.
So I think what you're going to say is that you want to go with your thought and idea that you meant to have here, which is that A on 25.24.1 would say a maximum of
2.
2 in words
Mhm.
and 2 in parentheses.
Yes, and 2 in parentheses, yes. Yes, that would be correct.
Now my copy doesn't even have page numbers on it.
I don't know what to tell you that one, I really
got it
don't.
Right off it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, that should have. Yeah,
It
because,
doesn't look like this is.
Yes, it's in there.
yeah, I don't know.
Not that, I got an echo on my 10th ream of paper.
Do you want to look real quick at mine or you want to look at somebody else's?
I
Okay.
always clean it before I ever do it.
No, he's saying the agenda, you wanna look at the agenda item.
Pardon?
Do you wanna look at the agenda item so you can see what's in it?
Yes.
There you got, yeah,
Oh, you got the in the back.
it's on page,
That's right.
332, 132.
it's gonna be page 127
Yeah, that's where it's.
through, that's where it starts. 127 through 135.
And the new one with the markups, or no, the new one, the way it's supposed to look is on starting on 132.
It's on 132.
Starts at 132.
Yes,
Agenda format's the middle. 128,
that's the old version, that was on 128.
128 through
128 through,
130, 135.
yeah, 128 to, 129, or no. Correct. Oh, yeah, so 128 to 131 is the old version. And then starting 132 through 135 is the new version. Was the old version with the strikes, I should say.
But see, there's no lines in this stuff.
Well, there's 3 copies. That's what's so confusing. It's so confusing because there's 3 separate copies.
There's an old one,
Yeah, that's-
there's a stricken through one, and then a new one.
See, that was totally confusing. If it's confusing to us, can you imagine how confusing it would be to the ratepayer, anybody looking at it?
Well, so and the reason why we said that originally was so that way you could read the old version, exactly how it was. And then look at the strikes and go, okay, this is where it was struck through, because once it's struck through, you can't read it, right? While it's being.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we just didn't put, maybe that's,
There's
I
only
think
2 versions.
3 copies.
no, there is only 2 versions, yeah, we
There's only
didn't.
a strike out version.
I said there's only a struck out version in the
You-
new one.
Well, if there's not 3, there should be, because
Yeah, you're right, because it's,
you made a big issue with
Yeah.
me to put 3 in.
no, it's a 3.
So
No,
you're saying it's not.
no, I included 3,
Yeah, that's.
but it just didn't get put into the
That's what
agenda.
I thought.
Didn't get put into the agenda.
Yeah.
Clearly we need to-
So just for
Yeah.
future guidance, do we want 3 in the future? Or do we not want 3 because it was too many for the ratepayer to understand? Which do we want?
I probably, if we want to include a struck through version, we can do that, just a struck through and a new version. and we
Yeah,
could
yeah, I
probably
like
do
those.
that.
I like those 2.
We just need, I think at the same time, we need to make it clear what it is. It needs to say somewhere, strike through version
Yeah,
or.
strike through original version.
Yeah.
And where, because we have that in our policy here.
I don't think it's in here. I
I
think we just said it and put it in here.
Well, I think, no, because I explained that.
We need another vote.
Future agenda items.
You've got a 2-hour limit vote to go through.
Yeah. We do, you're right. So
Just move on.
we are at our 2-hour limit.
We all agree.
We don't know yet.
You called it, let's do it.
Yeah, we're at a 2-hour limit. Do we want to continue? I'll make a motion to continue this meeting.
A second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, everybody take a 10-minute recess, or 5-minute recess, sorry, 5 minutes.
Well,
I know. I put that in here. That's. All right, call this meeting back to order. At 8:16 after our break. We were right in the middle of discussing policy 5025. And I would like to make a motion to approve the revised agenda with edits to 5025.22.6.1. So that would be striking a clean version of the policy in there were submittal requirements for policy action items. So we're striking a clean version of the policy. So then line item 2 and 3 will become 1 and 2, and a clean version of the policy will be struck. And correct 5025.24.1A. It says a maximum of 3. That should be a maximum of 2, as stated in the parentheses next to it. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right, public comment? Anything on the owl? A second? All right, any further board member comment?
So about the discussion items, does that take a vote?
Discussion?
Last item on the, when you bring discussion items, is that gonna take a vote? Get that in the future?
No. Roll call vote.
Chase Dillon,
Yes.
Mark Bell,
Yes.
Ron Thompson,
Yes.
Roger Pruitt,
Yes.
Diane Foster.
You can say abstain if you want to.
Abstain.
Okay.
Motion carries 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah, because of an abstention, yes. Okay, moving right along. Into. And we don't have any discussion items tonight. And there's no future agenda items on the 4th.
I would like to read a statement regarding the,
And can you wait till directors items?
yes.
Okay, so we'll do it with,
Would we-
that's
number-
right after he does his general manager.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. And general manager's report.
General manager's report is in your packet. There's a safety meeting update. The 2025 Consumer Confidence Report has been issued to the public. It's posted on our website. I have certified in the state of California that it's available. They've accepted that certification, so we're complete with that annual process. And then there's a report of the finance manager report on the end. It kind of goes through all of the services and different things that LSL has provided to the district. And that's my report.
All right.
I have some comments.
Any questions for Hank?
Questions, yeah, questions. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Hank, regarding, okay, we know that, in the SCADA program, phase 6 is postponed until the generator, or at least that's what somebody said. There are, I guess, that was proposed that the, phase 6 not be implemented until the generator was put in, the new one, correct?
I don't know that. I believe phase 6 is complete.
Well, yeah, it's complete, but there was, Longley, the young one, he, in an email, he said, what's Longley's first name?
Nathan?
Nathan, yeah, Nathan said, I think it was his report that said that it was, he wasn't sure whether or not they should set up phase 6 yet until we get the new generator. So had there been a decision on that?
Yeah, I believe phase 6 is complete. I don't know what email you're referring to. I'm not aware that Nathan.
I just have one.
Yeah, he wrote a memo to you, I think, and it was last month's stuff, agenda items.
Okay.
And then he says that he is still up in the air, because I guess he's waiting for you to make a decision whether or not phase 6 should kick in with the current generator or wait until we get a new one. So that made it sound like to me that phase 6 wasn't kicked in yet. Yeah, it's there. You know, we paid for it. I realize that, but is it?
I don't know what phase 6 has to do with the generator.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. SCADA. No, wait a minute. It's SCADA. SCADA program. Yeah, that's not a generator, is it? No. What is it? What is it? It was SCADA, and he says that he wanted to hold off for phase 6. Yeah, for the generator. That's right. It was. That's
Yeah.
right. It was.
He said he wasn't sure if they should start
Yeah.
6 because the generator should be installed first, so we're gonna move to the down and fix the antenna program.
Yeah. So I just wondered what the status was on that.
Phase 6 is complete.
Okay, so in other words, it's been, okay, so that's one question. Okay, that solves that one then. So my other one was, okay, so you hired, a full person. Now we have 4 people out in the, as operators, the, treatment plant distribution operators. We have 4 now.
Just jump back to phase 6. Phase 6 was the pump house, had nothing to do with the generator.
But that's what he said though, in the memo.
Well, so if you provide those things ahead of time, I can look into them. I'm trying to research.
Well,
what you're
I'll
talking
send
about.
I'll send it to you.
That would be best, because to drop it on,
Well,
ambush, I think is the
Well, I
word.
wasn't doing that on
It's really
purpose.
difficult to look up the things you're looking for.
Well, I know, but you're the one that,
Surprised
you're the
me.
one that gave it to us. Well, okay, but I'll send it to you, but I'll send it to you, because it
Okay,
was in the
great.
agenda
That sounds good.
items. It was in the agenda items. Okay, of last month. Okay,
Sure.
so, do we have 4, treatment plant operators now, 4 of them? Because you hired another one.
Yes, 4.
Okay, and what category is he in? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Who?
The new one you hired.
Oh, I think, I think, 2, I think.
Okay, well, it's.
I don't know. Again, if you provide me with these questions, it'd be a lot easier for me to get you real accurate information. I feel a little hesitant to answer, because
Well,
what
it
if I'm wrong? What if he's a 1?
Well,
I don't
no,
know.
it's not relevant to me. I don't even know the difference. I just was curious if he's more skilled. I think that's where I was going with it.
He's
But he's more-
extremely skilled.
Yeah, see, that's where I was going with it. So we hired somebody that's very well skilled. That's where my point. And then my last question is, you hired a new clerk. So, and I have forgotten her name already, or he, maybe, no, it's a girl, is that person on the, when you were looking for somebody, you put down full-time or part-time? What did that person turn out to be?
We
Part-time?
just hired a full-time customer service representative.
Okay, and which number, 1 or 2? 2?
Mhm.
Oh, so she's replacing Addie. Okay, that's all I want now.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, and now would be
Now it's
moving
my
on
turn,
to,
yeah.
director comments. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Roger got it? Mark?
Yep.
You're lying. Oh, you really do? I'm going down the list, Diane, I'll be back to you in a second.
Okay, so this is getting back to.
Hold on, Diane,
Oh,
Mark's
did
gonna,
you
yeah.
have a comment?
yeah.
Oh,
So there'll be extra down there. Let's come back this way. Yeah.
Or why don't you just give me the
Here,
extra, Chase?
just take, here, now I'm just kind of pull out the. then you can have that. There we go.
So there's one.
Yeah, just one.
So, as part of my little report here for discussion items, Diane mentioned last time that I didn't have a full year for review on the, LSL accounting data, and so that's what I have this time. There's a full year there, and I've kind of highlighted the last two, items on 12-month accounting, where we are back down below 100K for the total for 12 months. So that's pretty good. You can see the, all the way back to, April. So there's actually 13 months there. Also commentable, I didn't show the expenses of the grand jury, which that was in there. And there was also a special project that was delineated for $2,200. So that 12-month accounting and the accounting numbers, costs is part of what I graph routinely also. On that same page though, it shows the year-end costs. And I talked earlier about, if you have somebody new, it costs you more money, and that's part of our year-end 55K versus 43 versus 41. The more often we do something with somebody, the cheaper it gets. The next page is a graph. The blue is, the blue bars are the monthly costs, and that goes with the numbers on the left. And the 6-month average and the yearly average, you go with the numbers on the right. And you can see, it's kind of hard to see that light green is underneath the 100K there for last month's, but that's the case. And let's see, we've also heard about how many hours do they spend. And so the last graph is the counted hours per month. So this doesn't include, I think, a maximum of about 5 hours that are management that might come in there. This is just how much the accountant spends. And that little red line that goes across there is the nominal Roger number. So with the exception of one time in the last year and a half, roughly, they've been under the number of hours that Roger spent. That was the end of my discussion item.
All right, thank you. Well, it's just 4 minutes, it's like a 4-minute.
Yep.
Diane?
Okay, so my comment is regarding 5025. Underneath the future agenda items. And this would be regarding what happened last April. Each of us on the board represents a segment of the Forest Hill population. The public elected us to represent them, and we serve on the board as their voice. Although I may not always agree with other board members' positions, I would never vote to censor their agenda item to be placed on the future agenda list as board policy 5025 allows, which is what happened last month.
Diane, let me.
Voting no to not allow another director's agenda item be placed on the next month agenda is nothing more than censoring the voice of the people. And I'm talking to these two people down here.
So let me say that that was my fault on that.
They voted for it though.
Granted. That was my fault because I should have never put that to a vote, but since it was there and I knew it was gonna pass, I just kind of did that.
You're not gonna do it in the future?
No, and that, because it shouldn't have been done, it shouldn't have been done that way to begin
Really?
with. I shouldn't have done that. That was my bad reading that. I just, because it was just in the agenda
It was in the
flow.
board policy.
It's not in the board.
Okay,
So that was me chairing the meeting and just going, this is.
so it's not gonna happen again.
No. Now, another president or something like that tries to do that in the future, I don't know. But I can't speak for them, but it's not policy.
All right, okay, well, that makes me feel better, a
Yeah.
lot better. Because I would never.
Yeah, because that's, if you read through 5025, that's actually, read through it, the new version of
It's
it.
hard to understand.
Read through the new version. Read through the new one.
All right.
Okay. Ron, anything?
Oh.
Okey dokey. All right. With that said. we have closed session.
Yeah, and so I'll read the closed session. It's section 14.1 of the agenda. Conference with real property negotiators pursuant to government code section 54956.8. The property is up to 2,000 acre feet of stored sugar pine water. The negotiators are Chase Dowling and Henry White, and the negotiating parties are a long list of water agencies listed in section 14.1. Under negotiation is the price and terms of payment for the sale of surplus stored water from Sugar Pine Reservoir. With that, we can go in.
All right,
Let me stop the recording.
Patty?
Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Good night, Patty.